Now in this lecture we will gonna be working on PHP file. So let's just start it. Let me write basic PHP and now we are gonna start. The first thing that we will have to write here is the array we will call status, and it will be an array which will hold all the result detail. Another array that we will gonna create and we will gonna name it allow, and it will be the type of files that we will gonna allow. In our case we are going to create this for images, so we will just gonna say image.jpg and image/png. Now we have to see that whether the files are there or it's just an empty file. So for that we will gonna access the very first position of the array and see that if it have at least one file. So we will gonna say not empty, and we will get the file, the global array, and inside we will gonna say file. Remember we use the name. Let me show you here. As you can see, we use this name, so we are accessing it here, and we are gonna say name. Inside the name we will gonna say 0, so it must be at least one file available. So it will say echo okay, else we will gonna echo not okay. So let's quickly go over here, and now we have to write the handler which control the result. For that we will gonna say xlr.onReadyStateChange. We will gonna say function, and in this function we will check that the HTTP request is still alive, is still okay, or if the status is completed, then process something. xlr.readystate must be 4 means completed, and dot status, what status is it right now? 200. As you all know that 301 is the redirection, 400 is page missing, or 500 it's overloaded or something. So it must be 200, the active. So inside we will gonna get the result. So we will say var variable result, and it will equal to response, this dot response text. And now we are gonna console.log result, so we can see that what is the result coming. So far just leave it as it is. Come here, save it, refresh that. Okay, let me drag some file over. It says okay, great. Now what we have to do here, we have to get this data and we will have to work on that. For that we will have to first write it. We will say else, we will gonna say no data found. Simple as that. And if data is available, we will gonna go through each data and we will gonna upload it. Let me first show you what's the structure we have. Print r is the command that display the array. We have this array, files, file, that's it. And we will gonna say print HTML tag pre, which make this array structure pretty better so you can understand perfectly. Refresh that thing. Now you can see nice and clean way. We have array, name, type, temp name, error, size. Pretty straightforward. In each of these keys we have another array. As you know that we dropped 2 files, so in name we have 2 files named nature.jpg, car.png. In type we have 2 types, jpg, png. In temp name you can see we have both temp name. Error, we do not have any error, thank God. And in size, here we have a size. So how can we access each of the element and process all of the files no matter how many files user will upload? It will be supported multi-file, so we will have to think about it, and we will have to create something better structure that handle both one and more than one files. So for that, let me tell you how it will work. Now as we all see that we got the file successfully, now we have to create the for each loop. It's a loop that access throughout the whole array. We are gonna use the array, this one, as POS position, and val, value. So now we got the position would be 0 and 1, the value would be the exact name. The first thing that we have to do is to put the validation, and the validation would be type. So if we were gonna say if these two types match in the file, then good to go, otherwise show the error. So we will gonna say in array. We're gonna use the command which says in array, and it will take two parameters. First parameter is the name which we are comparing, and the second one is the array which we are comparing with. So as you can see that we just add the lowercase, all the lowercase, and it might happen that your file type would be in uppercase. So it is better to say str2 lower, and here we will give position, and we are not gonna use name, we are gonna use type. So what it will gonna do, first let me add the other parameter. So allow, what it will gonna do, it will gonna check in array this type. The type would be PNG or JPG, then good to go. So it will check in array if this value is exist in this array, allow array, then good to go, otherwise give the error. So we are say if not, if it is not, then simply neglect it, and we will gonna say, we will gonna throw the error status, the result array that we will gonna pass through the JavaScript. We will gonna say couple of things. The first thing that we will gonna use is name, and we will gonna say the name of this file is this is the file name. Another key, we will gonna use the type. So type would be this file type, and position. Keep in mind that position is important. The next thing, URL, it haven't uploaded, but we have this structure, so we will gonna say no URL, it's empty, and the message which tell the user what exactly the issue come up, we will gonna say invalid type, because we just filtered the type. So if the type wrong, then it should say invalid type, and we will gonna say status false. This is the key we will gonna use to check whether it is uploaded or not. Right now we got errors, so we cannot proceed. So if the first validation is that if the file type is not exist in this array, then do this, make the file not upload. If, for instance, the file type exists in this array, then proceed. And now we have to add another validation, the size validation. If you all remember that I told you in the demonstration that we are not gonna validate the size, the normal size anyone can do. We are gonna validate the width and height, the important thing in image. So for that we will gonna say else if, and in else if, first we have to get the file height and width. For that we will gonna use the list. We will gonna say width $height, and we will gonna use the PHP function get image size. It will take just one parameter, the URL of image or the file name. So right now we have a file temp name. That's it. So the file is available temporary in temp name, and we will gonna access through the position. So we get the width and height. So we can write whatever validation we need according to our use. For now I will gonna say width if width is greater than 180 1840, and we are not gonna use R because we have to validate both. Sorry, I missed the D. And we will say height is greater than 860. If that's true, then just copy this, paste it here, and this time we will gonna say invalid size. So what if the width is greater than 1840 and height bigger than 860? It will do not upload the image. Rather than that, it will throw the error. That's cool. Else, if these both validations got successfully done, then we will say okay, now you can upload the file. So for that, what we will do, and here's another one thing, you probably don't know about the addition of the file name. So as you know that in the image folder, if file already exists, it will overwrite. So we will also gonna do the another trick, the another good feature, that if the file already exists, then it will add the name with the integer plus number. So we will also gonna deal with that. For that, I will gonna say additional. At the beginning it would be 0, and we will say full path. We're gonna capture the full path here, and as you all know that PHP have a global variables, we will gonna say document root dot upload slash images slash concatenate, and now we are gonna say files, file file, and the file name. If I'm using the double quote, then I should use the double quote throughout the whole name, file name, and we will also gonna say position. That's it. So it will be the full path. Okay, now the second thing that we need is the validation, that we will gonna check whether this file already there or not in the folder. Once it will upload, it will be there. So for that, we will gonna use the PHP function file exist, and it will take the full path. Here it is. That's why I created that. It do not just take the file name, it take the whole path, the URL. If the file exists, we will gonna have to do the addition. So for that, we will gonna split the whole URL into a chunks. So for that, we will gonna use the PHP function, and we will gonna loop through that. So we're gonna say while function exists. So until the file exists, keep looping through that while. And the first thing that we will have to do, we have to make this additional increment of 1. So first time, as you see, it's 0. When the while loop start, it will start and become 1. And now the function that will split the file into different values, we will gonna say path info, and we will gonna pass the full path here. So what it will do, it will turn that path into array with some values like extension, dir name, file name, base name, and so on. So we will gonna split it and use it. So we can also validate one more thing. If additional is equals to 1, then what you will have to do, you will have to create the variable, take whatever variable name you like, and we will gonna say info, we will gonna access the key of file name. So what it is doing, it is checking that if the loop is the first time run, then what you have to do, you have to create the variable original name. I just make it short and put the name of the original file. Now we have to say full path is equals to $info. We will gonna say dir name append slash, then again concatenate, and dot additional dot. This dot is just for extension, these dots are for concatenate, and now at the end info extension. Great. Now what we can do, we can simply print path so you can understand that. Okay, so let me tell you this thing again. If file exists, first of all, it will make the additional 0 and it will create the full path. So after the full path, it will check that if that file already there. So we have to run the while loop, and each time we will do the additional of 1. For instance, if there is no file exist, we will gonna say the file name is Faraz. So first time it check, okay, file is not available, just simply go here and we will gonna upload the file right away. For instance, if I already uploaded faraz.jpg, this time if I again go and drag the file faraz.jpg and drop it on the drag and drop section, it will again come here and it will see, oh, the file is exists. Now run the while loop. So until the file there, while loop will keep run. And we are updating the file full path here. So all the time it will run. For instance, if right now faraz.jpg is available. So what it will do? It will come here, it will make the addition of 1. Before it was 0, now it will become 1. Now it will split the file and we say if additional is equals to 1, which is right now is equals to 1. Take the org name and put the value of file name. So what it will be in this file? Faraz. Only Faraz, no extension, just a file name. And we will update it the full path with dir name. It will be this slash file name. What would be the file name? Faraz. And this time it will append with 1. Faraz1 dot jpg, because the extension is jpg. So for instance, we uploaded Faraz and Faraz1. Now I again go there and I again put the faraz.jpg. It will come here, it will see, oh, faraz.jpg already exists. So just run the while loop. It check faraz.jpg true. So run the while. It was 0, now it become 1. Again split the full path and we see if 1, right now it is 1. So we take the original name Faraz. Now we updated the full path. The same, this directory slash faraz dot additional. This time we add the addition 1 because it is 1 right now. And dot jpg. Again while loop run and check faraz.1.jpg. Oh, it is also available. So it will again run. This time it will become 2 because it was 1 and now plus 1, 2. So it will again split. If say it's not 1, it's 2 right now. So now we will do full path is equals to file info, again this directory, org name faraz, and this time it will become 2 dot extension. It will run the while and it say faraz2.jpg. It's not available. While loop will disconnect and we will upload. So that's a pretty much algorithm that I implemented here. Now we will have to upload it the file. First we have to take the full path. If file do not exist, then simply take the full path and make it this. If the file not exist, then we do not have to worry about any of this process. If I deleted all the files and it will be faraz.jpg and file do not exist, then this case will not work. We're simply gonna take the file name as a full path and now here we will gonna upload it simply, and we will gonna use move uploaded file. It will take 2 parameters. The first parameter that we will gonna use is the name. So we have temp name. So file temp name position and which directory I wanna upload it that dot full path. Okay, so if file moved, we will gonna say true and message would be file uploaded, or we can say anything uploaded, and this time we will have to get the file path, which is this one, so we can access it using JavaScript. So for that, echo JSON encode and we will gonna send the status so we can access using JavaScript. If we come here, if we refresh it, let me drag to files. Oh wait, the first thing we will gonna have to create the folder in which file will move images. Right now you can see it's empty. Just come here, refresh it again, open it. Okay, we got error on line number 38. Let's see, we forget to add the semicolon. That's not the problem. Syntax error can be handled. Cool. As you can see, I print this here as well as we also console it here. If I just delete that and go again here, refresh it, and also let me show you in the folder. You see both files are here. Let me upload both files again. Let me drag and hover. Oh wait a second, we have an error here. Okay, well, we made a mistake here. We didn't finalize that. So how can we finalize that? After all the process done, after the while loop exit, what we will have to do, we will simply remove the dir. So it can just take the file name with the additional. Let me refresh, come here. Perfect. Now as you can see, car1 and nature1 has been uploaded. So for instance, if I delete nature1 and now if I upload, it will say car2 and nature1. You see car2 and nature1. Perfect is that. Great. So now it is working. So now what we have to do, we have to come here, trigger the result in the next videos. So take care for now. Bye bye.